Took two trades today. Both losers, both on the same setup. I missed a nice setup that was in my plan. And we'll get into that, but because I missed that, I ended up taking these ones, my short plan, but it eventually worked out, but not when I wanted it to. So yesterday's pivot relationships were mostly bullish here, overlapping higher on cams and higher on everything else. So it was pretty bullish, but overnight it's been downtrending, and then it was opening under L4S1 value in range, any major key level. So I was short biased, but only if it came up to test this area first. So if it came up to test 6603 or up to 6612 or even yesterday's low of 6616, I want to kind of short this area here to for a continuation down. But I did have this level here, the high volume no ledge level at 6580-ish, and that was a level that was supported 2 days ago. And also, that was a very nice high volume no ledge there, and it was actually bouncing off of it in pre-market also. So here and here it was bouncing, and it was a good level, so I wanted to long that. So basically the two plans for today, short plan here, long, or short here, then long over here. That also matched with S2 also, so I did like that. So market opens up, and it comes right into this area. Didn't quite break it, but comes to 65.79 and 3/4. So it's 2 ticks off my level. I mean, it's not a very accurate level, it's more of a zone, but that kind of factors into my decision making today. So it comes in, but right before it actually comes into my level here at 65.80 or so, I see this big CVD hidden divergence here, bearish. I also see this, which is the delta divergence bearish on the 2 minute. I think there's another delta divergence bearish that forms there. Yes, another delta divergence bearish, another delta divergence on the 20 range chart. So there was a lot of bearish signals. 1 minute delta divergence there with the CVD hidden divergence. So a lot of these confirmations were for shorts, and that's how it comes into my 65.80 level. So now it's here. I said, I guess I'm looking at longs now, although it looks very bearish right here. But as it comes down, it forms this 20 range delta divergence as well as the 2 minute delta divergence, although it doesn't end that way. It also forms somewhat of a B shape. It's a very, I don't know, I don't even know if I could classify that as a B shape, so I was kind of iffy on that. It's like the only real thing I had was the 20 range delta divergence. And so I was kind of debating whether or not to take this. And it seemed like it was rejecting here again. Remember that delta divergence over here and this kind of a P shape. And I was rejecting there again. And then all this bearish confirmations previously. Yes, it did have a 1 minute delta divergence, a very tiny one, but I don't know. I was just kind of on the fence about this. And I did see this part, which was a high volume hammer candle that was forming, but nothing really crazy on the 1 minute, nothing really on the 5 minute. Just, I don't know. RSI also wasn't, I was making higher lows and higher lows here. Nothing diverging there. I mean, it was at my level. There was this delta divergence, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I had this 3 minute hammer, but it wasn't, the volume wasn't even that clear on it. It wasn't like a complete outlier, although it is, I would usually classify this as high volume hammer. So I had that, and then this. That's about it. So especially because of these delta divergences and all that, I wanted to kind of retest this level at the 80s a little bit, and especially because it didn't really come into my level there my zone. So I kind of wanted it to break below and maybe hold there or something. I was looking for some sort of retest. I didn't just want to take this right off the bat. Maybe I should have, but I mean, if I did, it would have been great. But yeah, I was just very unsure of it. Yeah, also I think psychology had a factor in that. I was up more than I ever really have in my trading career, so I was like, I don't need to be aggressive on it. I don't need to take brash, you know, trades that aren't the best confirmations. I can miss it. It's fine. I was trying not to be too aggressive, so all that kind of factored into me not taking this. And then it pops over here. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I should get in, but at this point it was already, I guess it was 8 points, so I could have gotten in, but I felt like it was like 10 points or something, over 10 points. So I say, oh, maybe it's too late now, because I should have gone over here around 5 points risk, but now I'm 3 points later. So I was kind of wanting to maybe retest this 85 level again, and that's what I kind of wanted to see, but never really came back. Just ended up rallying the whole entire way. Yeah, so if I did enter, it would have been a good trade. 3R, about 8-point risk. Would have hit 3R there, and yeah, it would have been one and done here, but I didn't take it. I mean, even looking at it now, I just don't think it was the best confirmations. I don't think I'm wrong there per se, but it would have worked out. So, and it was at my level. It was a good level too. So, kind of regretting that one. But now it's coming into my short level here, right? My yesterday low, value low, all that. And now I'm thinking, okay, well, this was my target over here, so it already hit my target. Am I going to short it again? And I wasn't too sure of it. I was a little hesitant, but I said if I see good confirmations, I'll take it, right? So the context over here is that it broke above, this was RSI's over here, broke above here, but RSI's pretty much the same. So I was pretty interested in that. And then I had this little trend line going here that was about to break, but then it broke and then immediately got bought back up here, forming a huge hammer candle here. So I was just going to give up, but as it broke the highs again, RSI again is lower, and it's not really rallying up like it should after getting supported here. So I decided to take a chance on it. I had a decent amount of interesting confirmations here. So it broke above. The dip got bought up, broke above, and it started forming a little bit of a P shape here, with a lot of sellers there. That kind of comes and retests here. So it retests this little P shape there, and then rejects again. Yeah, so P shape there, retest, reject. I'm kind of interested here. And then nothing on the CVD yet, but I have the P shape, I have the retest of the P shape and rejection, and yeah, and then the trend line. So then it breaks, gets bought back above here, and then breaks the highs again, and then it doesn't really rally that much. So then another P shape kind of right here on the 20 range chart gets again retested into the P shape here, and then rejects, and another retest there, rejects, then forms a I think a delta divergence here. Yeah, so 20 range delta divergence, bearish on there. Yeah, and then it starts selling off here. So on the 2-minute also, it has a delta divergence on the 2-minute, bearish. So I decided to go in it. One contract. There's a third retest here, and then rejected with the P shape. So I thought it was decent. Decent confirmations. It sold off a little bit, but got bought right back up here, and then stopped me out. But even after the stop out, just didn't really rally like I expected it to. It broke the highs again, and then formed a delta divergence on the 20 range chart. And then this candle broke the highs, but RSI is way lower, so there's a normal divergence on RSI here. There was a little retest back up and then started rejecting, so decided to give it another try here with the stop above the highs. And 2-minute delta divergence was forming. I also really liked that there was this 1-minute delta divergence that formed here, and then hidden CVD hidden divergence there. So I like these confirmations better than the first one, and so I decided to give it a try. It did sell off for a little bit. It actually hit 2R, but never really broke under. So my target was about here. So if you see this high volume node here, high volume node, I want to target this low volume node. So about 6,600 or so. But it never really got there. It did hit 2R, but I wanted to give it some chance to form a higher low, or lower high, and then come back down, but never did. It just got bought up. I thought it might have a chance here, so I didn't put it at break even, but then it just recovered, and I probably should have hit break even here, but I didn't and took a full loss. So yeah, I missed a very good trade and took 2 trades that just did not work out. And then eventually it seems like it sold off, but without me, after a bunch of back and forth here. Even if I was in here after I got stopped out the second time, I thought about it. I probably would have gone stopped out in this little pop up here. It hit 22 and yeah, maybe I could have stayed in. I don't know. So yeah, if I took it a third time, maybe I could have held it all the way down here, but yeah, I guess it was the right thesis both ways, my long plan and my short plan, but just couldn't execute here, nor could I execute here. So it's a red day for me.